Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you a game between Infi versus Th000 here on Bright and Dark. We have Infi spawning under the name Li, spawning as the teal human player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the top right, we have Th000 spawning under a Chinese name you can't see as, well, the Night Elf player. Night Elf versus Human in this 1v1 matchup on Bright and Dark. Perhaps one of my most favorite maps as of late. Bright and Dark, one of those maps that has a lot of possibilities, a lot of creeping, a lot of just weird shenanigans that can happen. And it's one of those maps that you really have to play to. Now, we are going to be looking at most likely an Archmage versus a Demon Hunter opening, as we are going for that Altar of Elders first. Meanwhile, let's take a look on the other side of the map. Altar of Kings is not being sped built. This is just your traditional Altar of Kings barracks opening. And what you're going to see is perhaps a standard Archmage style of creeping. Now, it is going to be the Archmage versus the Warden instead of the Demon Hunter, as the Warden is generally a pretty strong hero as long as you can get her to level 6. I can't imagine many more game-changing ultimates than the Warden's level 6. And one of the reasons why I like the Warden as well is the Warden really works well as a solo hero. Archmage, even though Mass Teleport is an amazingly strong ability and it can swing games just because of your high mobility factor, it's rather difficult to try and get an Archmage up to level 6. It doesn't have the survivability as the Warden. It doesn't have the assassinating ability as the Warden either. So that's one of the reasons why you rarely ever see a solo Archmage. The Warden, on the other hand, can go in, get fans of knives, cause harassment, get experience after level 5 by trying to snipe down units. It works out fairly well, as that Warden is already clearing out this creep camp. I think it's a 3-3-2-2 creep camp. It should not give this Warden level 2 though. Meanwhile, it is going to be, wow, what is this? I thought we were going for an Archmage. I thought I had saw an Archmage, and now instead it is going to be a Mountain King. Mountain King creeping here on the Mercenary camp. And we can see also a Troll Shadow Priest has been picked up. That Troll Shadow Priest was doing that Spider was doing a good job trying to spread out all of that poison damage, as you can see the rest of the little spiderlings getting taken down. Alright, a little bit difficult to actually see purple on this map over here on the top right, but not too difficult when you look on the green map here. The Warden is in this position, but has to be extremely careful against this Mountain King. Oh, what is going on here? That Warden actually taking 20 points of damage pretty needlessly, as the Mountain King may be able to get off a Stormbolt. That could be a bit of a problem. No, that Warden is able to sneak away with really no problem at all. Now, what's happening next? Mountain King coming back here. Gonna go ahead and regroup. We see the Troll Shadow Priest, and we are now sitting at 30/30 supply, not teching to tier 2. Let's take a look at what the Warden is doing. The Warden is now opening up with the Hunter's Hall, not teching to tier 2, so we may actually see Huntresses. That would come as a really big surprise to me. I can't imagine Huntress with Warden as an opening, but then again, Infi and Th000 are obviously much better players than I, as the Mountain King is going out to do a little bit more creeping. Now, if that Mountain King can get to level 3, that is going to be a huge bonus for that Mountain King. 225 damage Stormbolts are very deadly, especially against low hit point units such as archers. Huntresses can get stunned very easily as well, and with really no way to heal for the Night Elves aside from Moonwells, then that can be a problem. We are going into Ultra Vision here. Let's see what is being trained up. Yes, it is going to be Huntresses now, and one of the bonuses for Huntresses is that they are just extremely effective against Footmen. The Footmen do tend to clump together, and you can see a Footman at 420 hit points versus the Huntress at 600, almost 50% more hit points there. As we can see now, the Greater Voidwalker going to get taken down. Troll Berserker has been hired as well. That Warden sitting now at level 2 may try to get to level 3. Gonna be very close. As you can see now, that Footman is trying to get away. Warden gets off a Shadow Strike onto that Footman, and that Footman is gonna fall. Meanwhile, back over here, we are speed building a Town Hall by Infi, and that means that Infi wants to turn this into a very long economic game. Is the Warden going to be able to get this Footman? The Footman down to 40 hit points, 30 hit points, one more Shadow Strike, does do it, and that footman goes down. Meanwhile, back over here, we can see that the Mountain King sitting at level 2, dangerously close to level 3. But then again, being close to level 3 doesn't matter unless you actually get to level 3, and that should be his main priority and his main goal in the upcoming fights. The Warden, however, already catching up and now surpassing that Mountain King in terms of experience. Very, very fast creeping, and this Tree of Life will be able to make its way down off over here and set up an expansion as well. It does take a little bit of time to entangle a gold mine, but that is all well calculated now. Footman, Troll Berserker, Troll Shadow Priest, all here. Huntresses are getting added, and there's currently 3 Huntresses all together. If we can get enough Huntresses, it should be enough to overwhelm these Footmen. However, if the Huntresses start straggling in one at a time, the Troll Berserker and that piercing damage may just be too much. Tree of Life down to 1200 hit points and falling rapidly. Now, what is this? A Scroll of Town portal? Is that going to Scroll of Town portal straight on top of all those units? There you go. And wow, a good fan of knives comes down. But a Stormbolt does come down as well. This Tree of Life is dangerously low on hit points. It is massively getting repaired now. Down to 60, down to 30, down to 28, down to 35, 19, 20, 26. This is so close. My goodness, so much repairing going on. And now this Mountain King's actually in a little bit of trouble here as this Tree of Life somehow stays alive. That is a huge, huge play there. Are we going to see a Footman die? No, we do not. That glaive bounce, just not quite enough as the Tree of Life gets to where he needs to go with just enough hurry to get him back up to full, or at least no longer in the danger zone of that hit point problem. All right, let's come back around. That Mountain King now low on hit points. Gonna try and clear out this Elven Gate and do creeping on his neck of the woods, trying to keep it safe. The problem is that there are a lot of Huntresses, and the Warden is sitting at level 3. Moonstone ready to go, and this is a very, very well-timed attack. The whole entire reason for this attack is that you are trying to extend Nightfall here. I guess, opposite of the story of Joshua, trying to extend Nightfall and make sure that you can continue to fight as long as possible. Once the units do come back, we may see that Moonstone come into play, as it does block a lot of vision. Oh, Lightning Shield on this Huntress, dealing so much damage. You can see so many of these peasants have been taken down, and that one Huntress down to 337 hit points, still falling, as the Huntresses are maybe able to just push in here in just a moment. Now coming back around, you see that the Militia are in position here. Oh, a big fan of knives comes in as the, what is this, the Warden sitting at level 4, and as soon as Infi saw that there was a glaive thrower, he calls game. So a very easy game number 1 for Th000 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game number 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.